Let's take a look at my tomatoes and have a little talk about the different kinds and why I'm growing them. This bed here is mostly a determinate variety, which means they only get so big and they produce most of their tomatoes all at once and they ripen mostly all at once. And that's perfect for me because I'm using these for food storage and canning, and you want them all already at once so you can process them all and get a nice good crop. I also like them because you don't have to do a lot of pruning or training. You just have to take the bottom leaves off before anything below this here. So this is where the first flower is. So from here down I can take off, but the rest I just leave alone, otherwise you're just losing out on fruit. They grow pretty fast and then they make fruit and they die. So you don't have a lot of management to do. I just have this little string training system just to help hold up the main stalk, and that's it. And I have 10 of those, so that's mostly my main food storage option for tomatoes. They make like a paste tomato. They're the San Marzano, which also has an indeterminate variety, but this is a determinate variety. And over here, where I had two that died from the frost, are my Big Mama tomatoes, where I actually didn't know what they were. I just saw them at the nursery and they were called Big Mama, and I thought it was funny, so I got them. Big Mama tomato. And I was really looking for kind of like a giant beefsteak style. And it turns out these are kind of like a giant beefsteak Roma tomato cross, so interesting. Would be kind of neat. But these are indeterminate, so they'll keep growing and growing and producing tomatoes. So I'll have to, as I train them up, I'll have to prune off the suckers and things like that. So it's a good thing I put them on the end here, so they can kind of just take over after all the others in the middle are done producing and dead. Well, when I first put these in here, just a few days ago even, they were starting to turn yellow at the bottom. This one still kind of is. And I was worried something happened, but I think it was just transplant and like temperature shock from the temperature being so cold and things after I planted them and stuff, because I put a little fertilizer on them yesterday and they all look pretty good. Over here are my Currant tomatoes. And I planted these for snacking and eating in salads, and I'll probably can them in like pickles and things too. So these are kind of like a really, really small cherry tomato. Being super tiny, here's one right here. Tiny little tomato. They're actually like a different species, so they're like the ancestor to tomatoes. It's supposed to be more disease resistant and whatnot, so they're just going to kind of grow wild through here to like a giant wild bush of wild tomato. But these ones here, that's why I'm growing these, for snacking, salads. They're easier to grow, and I just think they're cool. I'm really fascinated by them. And got my pepper. Little determinate bushworm, which supposedly is great for containers, because it only gets so big. It seems really, really sturdy and stocky. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully it'll bounce back. That would be just some useful information why I'm growing the different kinds, the 3 different kinds. So I'm growing the San Marzano Determinate, so that I can have a really good guaranteed harvest and use them for canning. So if you're canning, don't discount determinate varieties, because that's actually one of the best uses for them. And Big Mama, Indeterminate, which are the ones that you have to train and do a lot of pruning and care for, because they're going to be lasting quite a long time and they'll get diseased and things and won't produce well if you don't take care of them properly. See, the determinate ones, once they start producing fruit and really going, they stop growing. These will keep putting out shoots and keep growing along with the fruit, so you really have to manage them. And if you didn't know, I guess now you do, and you can think about different types of tomatoes you might want to grow for yourself.